Normally, excuse me. Normally, when there's a pay-per-view, and I do a pay-per-view rundown, I sit in this chair, and the first things that you hear out of my mouth is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and in just days, or tomorrow night live on the WWE Network. And then I say a few things about some of the top matches on the pay-per-view's card to get myself hyped up and get you guys hyped up and get everyone excited for the upcoming pay-per-view event. And then in typical DJ Storms fashion, I yell at the top of my lungs, "It's time for the rundown." Blah, blah, blah. Catchphrase, catchphrase, catchphrase. You guys get the picture. But recently, with what's been going on, what has transpired over the past number of weeks with the lackluster build, the horrible weekly programming, the matches just getting announced randomly on social media. Literally, the first 5 matches for this show was announced on social media. The way that WWE just pieced this together, like, I get it's a throwaway show. I get it. It's a throwaway show, but come on. At least put some effort into what you are serving up. Even if it's just a throwaway show, just to get a paycheck, just to get a lot of money. Put some effort into your programming. If you're not going to put effort into your weekly programming, at least put some effort into your fucking pay-per-views. I apologize if anyone was expecting a bit more energetic and a bit more enthusiastic type DJ. Normally I am, but recently with what's been going on and the build towards this show, I literally just have no enthusiasm. I have no energy. I am physically just drained. After a great Double or Nothing pay-per-view, after a fantastic NXT TakeOver 25, and now we got Super ShowDown, or what I'm calling it, Stupid ShowDown. We got Stupid ShowDown to look forward to. And, you know, it's like the passion inside of me just dies. It dwindles away. Like a candle flame at the end of that life, at the end of the candle wax stick, and the flame just dwindles away into the wax. There's just no passion. I just don't have any drive to review or preview or predict or talk about the show whatsoever. And the only reason why I am is because me and Chris, shout out to him, he's going to be appearing on the 14th Special Edition Storm stream tomorrow night after Super ShowDown at 7:30 p.m. For those of you who are going to watch, I hope to see each and every single one of you in the chat room. I'm doing it merely to gain content for my channel, because my channel has been growing rapidly over the course of the last 3 months. I went from 220 to 11, nearly 1130 within 3 months. And all this rapid progression, I need to put out content for you guys. If I did not have this YouTube channel, I would not be watching Stupid ShowDown at all. I would not be watching it, I would not be previewing it, I would not be predicting it, I would not be talking about it, because that is one of our topics tomorrow on the Storm stream. I'm going to do my best to get through this video and try and predict this show to the best of my abilities, and try and give you guys some quality wrestling analytics. Again, I apologize for those who were expecting a little bit more energetic and enthusiastic DJ Storms, but after what's been going on and the build towards this show and the blatant just laziness with WWE main roster programming, I just have no effort. I don't have any effort, I don't have any drive, I have no passion, I have no fire, I have no enthusiasm. But nevertheless, welcome to the rundown for WWE Super ShowDown, WWE Stupid ShowDown, which is taking place tomorrow night, live on the WWE Network from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with the pre-show starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, main show starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There are about 9 matches, I believe, set for the event, and we're going to talk about each and every single one of them. There could be 10 matches, because apparently a rumor came out yesterday that supposedly Natalya and Alexa Bliss have traveled with the WWE to Saudi Arabia, and they could be set to wrestle a match at Stupid Showdown. Super Showdown. I'm going to call it Stupid Showdown until the show is over. I'm going to call it Stupid Showdown until the show is over. I don't give a shit. Supposedly, Alexa Bliss and Natalya will be wrestling at Stupid Showdown. WWE hopes to convince the Saudi prince to allow them to wrestle there. But a pre-show match was also announced yesterday. It is Thursday, June 6th. A pre-show match was announced yesterday, and it will be the Usos versus the Revival. The Usos, the Revival, they're squaring off again. This is their second match within the last month or so. Considering that the Revival got the win last time, the Revival should win no matter what. The Revival should get the win over the Usos at Super Showdown no matter what. But based off of WWE's track record and the way that the Revival came out victorious on Monday Night Raw in that 6-man tag match with Drew McIntyre, I really have no faith in WWE to keep the Revival's momentum going. I'm predicting the Usos to win this. Now, most likely this could be perhaps one of the best parts of the show, Usos and the Revival. I mean, the last match was very good, so there's no way that this match is going to be bad in any way. But again, they're just being placed on the pre-show to fill time, and they're most likely going to give the Usos the win. I'm going with the Usos to get the win. It'll probably be the most enjoyable thing about Super Showdown. You remember Crown Jewel? Remember Crown Jewel? The pre-show match with Nakamura and Rusev for the United States Championship. That was the best match of the show. That was the best match of the show. Do I think Super Showdown will be as bad as Crown Jewel? No. It'll be bad, but not as bad as Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was perhaps the worst wrestling show I think I have ever watched. Perhaps the worst wrestling show I think I've ever watched. I don't think anything is going to come close to topping Crown Jewel as the worst wrestling show ever to be produced. Let's talk about the main show. I think the show is actually going to kick off with Triple H versus Randy Orton. They did Triple H versus John Cena to kick off the show at the Greatest Royal Rumble back in April when they did the first Saudi Arabian show. So I would expect them to do another Triple H match, but this time with Randy Orton. I expect this match to go 14-15 minutes, just like the John Cena match with Triple H went at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I expect Randy Orton to come out victorious here. It could very well be a decent match, just like the John Cena match was. It could be a decent match, but again, how many times have we seen this? Originally, I saw a report that it was going to be an unsanctioned match, but I think WWE scrapped that idea. I expect Randy Orton to come out victorious here, mainly because of the fact that Triple H is not scheduled or planned for anything after Super Showdown. So it would only make sense for Randy Orton to come out victorious, considering that Randy Orton could be thrusted into a championship title picture, and if WWE wants to make Stomping Grounds interesting, which they're not, I mean, you already have Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre set for a third fucking time. Like we weren't already bored to tears the first 2 times we saw Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. And then you got Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Oh, by the way, I do not trust WWE to do the right thing in that match. I'll talk about that more. I will go more in depth on that issue tomorrow on the Storm Stream with Chris. But Randy Orton being put in a WWE Championship title picture and a WWE Championship match with Kofi Kingston going into Stomping Grounds when their feud pretty much writes itself, and that feud in 2009 brings back a lot of memories, it would really come full circle, and it would really make for an interesting match and program going into Stomping Grounds, because Stomping Grounds is pretty much a throwaway show as well. And most likely you'll probably get this DJ when I'm doing the rundown and or the rewind for Stomping Grounds. I'm going with Randy Orton to beat Triple H, and most likely this match will kick off the show. Another match that has the possibility of kicking off the show, but I don't think it will, it could, but I don't think it will, is the Demon Finn Balor defending the Intercontinental Championship against Andrade. I'm telling you right now, you look back on this entire card, this, without a doubt, will be one of, if not the best match of the night. Finn Balor and Andrade. You're bringing out the Demon for Saudi Arabia. Even though it doesn't call for it, they're bringing out the Demon anyway. Nevertheless, Finn Balor and Andrade have been putting on some great matches on television recently. I believe that if they are given 15 to 20 minutes, they're going to do the same thing, this time with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I think both men are going to bring it. However, since they're bringing out the Demon, I don't think that Andrade is winning. And nor should he. Because the WWE wants to keep the Demon unbeatable. Which is fine. I have no problem with that. Finn Balor should not be losing the title anyway because he hasn't had much of a reign with it to begin with. He's only had 2 title defenses. He needs some more title defenses under his belt. Now, where do I think Finn Balor and Andrade go after Super Showdown? Well, you have to remember that Ali did beat Andrade on SmackDown Live after Money in the Bank. I can see Ali and Finn Balor getting booked for WWE Stomping Grounds for the Intercontinental title, or if they want to, they could go the triple threat route and we could get Andrade versus Ali versus Finn Balor in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship at Stomping Grounds, which sounds like a great fucking match in its own right. And Andrade could win the title there, or Finn Balor could retain. Now, Andrade will be Intercontinental Champion at some point. Andrade is going to be Intercontinental Champion, but it's not going to be at the hands of the Demon. If Andrade is to take the title off of Finn Balor, he's going to take the title off of the regular man, Finn Balor. And if they want to do that, they could very well do it in a triple threat situation at Stomping Grounds, or they could do Finn Balor versus Ali, or Finn Balor versus Andrade. Either way, Ali could very well factor into the Intercontinental Championship title picture going into Stomping Grounds because he did pin Andrade in a very good match on SmackDown, and Andrade is the #1 contender. As far as Super Showdown goes, I expect a great match. Probably one of the only good things about the show. Finn Balor the Demon retains the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. I don't even know why this match was even made. I don't understand why you couldn't have put these two in the 50-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and you could have gotten a United States Championship program with Samoa Joe and Ricochet, or you could have gotten Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. No, but you want to put Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley on Super Showdown. 2 dead characters that nobody genuinely cares about. Again, I get it's a throwaway show, but come on, do something to generate some interest. Do something to generate some interest and get people excited. This show is going to go in the pay-per-view section of the WWE pay-per-view calendar in 2019. If you scroll down to pay-per-views, you click WWE and you click the year 2019, this will show up in that pay-per-view section for 2019 WWE pay-per-views. Put some effort into your pay-per-views at least. We already know Bobby Lashley is one of the most boring, uncharismatic individuals on WWE television. Braun Strowman has fallen so far from grace. I don't even understand why they did not give this man the Universal Championship back in 2017 at No Mercy or at SummerSlam. I don't even know what could save Braun Strowman's career at this rate. I really don't. I really don't know what could save Braun Strowman's career at this rate. I would have him go away for 6 months. I would have Braun Strowman legitimately take a break off of WWE television and then put him on SmackDown Live with some fresh feuds, some fresh faces, kill this wild card rule. But then again, I don't even know if that could save his career. I really don't. I don't expect anything out of this match. This match, just like half of this card, is a fucking filler match. I genuinely don't care about this match, and I don't think anyone does, nor should anyone care about this match. I'm going with Braun Strowman to win. And I don't even know where Braun Strowman goes after Super Showdown. Nor do I care. I don't even know where Bobby Lashley goes after Super Showdown. Nor do I care. You put these two in a singles match when you could have done something like Samoa Joe and Ricochet for the U.S. title, Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight title to generate some interest, or better yet, why didn't you just do Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre if Lesnar was going to get announced for the Super Showdown Saudi show anyway? Why didn't you do Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre most likely is going to get thrown in that 50-man battle royal. Makes no fucking sense. And then on top of that, WWE keeps on saying that this show's going to be equivalent or better than WrestleMania, but meanwhile, you got the Lucha House Party versus Lars Sullivan. I'm a fan of the Lucha House Party. I'm a fan of Lars Sullivan, but 3-on-1 handicap match for Sullivan's first match against the Lucha House Party on Super ShowDown. This is going to be a filler match. I expect this match to go no more than 3 to 5 minutes, and Lars Sullivan's going to win. I don't expect Lars Sullivan to factor into any championship picture until the end of the year. Anyway, this is his first match. This is all he's going to get as far as a push goes. And rightfully so. Because with all the backlash, with all the fan backlash, pushing Lars Sullivan into a championship title picture this early, even though he could favor fairly well in a championship title picture, in my eyes, even though he could fare fairly well, even though he's very good in the ring, and he can put on a good match, with all the fan backlash going around, and how everyone's a hypersensitive pussy as of lately, I don't see Lars Sullivan factoring into any championship title picture until the end of the year. Lars Sullivan to defeat the Lucha House Party. Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon. Do I even need to say anything about this match? If you're interested in this match, then you have to be the most gullible son of a bitch on the face of this planet. I genuinely don't understand how anyone could be excited about trash. This match is pure trash. And you notice how they are moving Roman around the undercard, and they're having him run through everyone on the undercard. He ran through the B team, ran through Elias, he's going to run through Shane McMahon, you're going to have him run through Drew McIntyre at Stomping Grounds, you're going to build him up and run through everyone on the SmackDown Live roster and the Raw roster until you have the WWE Champion, whoever that may be, on a silver platter form at SummerSlam. They're strategically keeping Roman out of the championship title picture to put him back in at SummerSlam so Vince McMahon could have a hard-on and jerk off to Roman Reigns while Roman Reigns wins the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. I expect this match to be a sloppy match. Shane McMahon, I don't understand why Shane McMahon has been on every pay-per-view in 2019 this year, taking away from people who actually deserve to be on the card and have been busting their ass to be on the card. Roman Reigns is going to defeat Shane McMahon. If you actually think that this match is going to be good, or you think that Shane McMahon has any chance of beating Roman Reigns, then you need to check yourself into a mental asylum, because you are dangerously fucking stupid. Check yourself into a mental asylum. I'm like rushing through these matches because I just simply don't care. Again, I apologize for those who wanted the more energetic DJ, but I just can't with a show like this. I can only hope and pray that we don't get something equivalent to Crown Jewel. I'm actually going to tie these two matches into one. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. Now, most likely, this is going to be a great match. I'm not going to discredit Dolph Ziggler or Kofi Kingston. They are two very hard workers, and they are two great performers. But Dolph Ziggler was merely placed there as an interim opponent for Kofi Kingston because Kevin Owens didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia because he's standing up for Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is not allowed in Saudi Arabia because of his ethnicity. So why am I going to care when WWE didn't even care and they just threw Dolph Ziggler out there and they didn't even try to make the storyline with Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston a tad interesting? They didn't even try. WWE didn't even try. And that's been their common thread. That's been their common thread for the last half a decade. They're not even trying. Kofi Kingston's going to win. Now you got the Universal Championship title picture with Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. Seth Rollins is said to be at Saudi Arabia after he got beaten, nearly beaten to an inch of his life by Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar looked like the biggest moron walking the planet today. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion as much as the next guy. Trust me, Brock Lesnar isn't even a draw anymore. If Brock Lesnar was, the ratings would have been spiked up a lot higher. Brock Lesnar has been booked into a position in which he has held the Universal Championship pretty much hostage over 2 title reigns, nearly a combined 700 days, and the people have stopped caring about Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar gets go-away heat. The people literally don't care about Brock Lesnar, and they don't want to see Brock Lesnar because of those 2 Universal Championship title reigns. Brock Lesnar does not need to be in a championship title picture or even participate in a championship match. He does not need to be a champion. He doesn't need to be Mr. Money in the Bank. He does not need to be a champion or be anywhere near a championship title picture whatsoever. And I don't understand how Vince McMahon is not even grasping the mentality that Brock Lesnar isn't even a draw anymore. So it doesn't matter how many times he puts him in the championship title picture. Brock Lesnar's not going to move the needle for ratings whatsoever. He's not going to move the needle for ratings whatsoever. But again, Brock Lesnar looked like a complete moron when Seth Rollins was beaten, bruised, and battered, took F5s, German suplexes, and steel chair shots, bleeding from the back. And Brock Lesnar said, we're going to cash in on Friday. Now, what could come out of this? There's 2 things that I see coming out of this. They could go route number 1. Brock Lesnar could cash in on the Universal Championship match and make it a triple threat match between Rollins and Corbin and himself. He could either win the title or he could lose the cash in to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins retains the Universal Championship in a triple threat match. Either way, it's a lose-lose, because if Brock Lesnar wins, we're going to be back in the same position that we were before WrestleMania, and if Seth Rollins wins, there goes the Money in the Bank briefcase and the element of surprise, and you would have wasted the 2019 Money in the Bank briefcase on Brock Lesnar merely to get him on Super ShowDown, when you could have just easily booked him in a match with Drew McIntyre, and you could have given Seth Rollins a more worthy opponent other than Baron Corbin or himself, Brock Lesnar. We could get a triple threat match for the Universal Championship, or, and here's why I say or, Dolph Ziggler's not winning the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston is retaining. I would not be surprised if Brock Lesnar does a complete 180, completely swerves us, and goes and cashes in on Kofi Kingston to win the WWE Championship just to get him on SmackDown Live, because SmackDown Live is moving to Fox in October, and Fox apparently wants Brock Lesnar on SmackDown Live. When in reality, this could have all been avoided. You didn't have to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Brock Lesnar merely to get him on SmackDown Live by cashing in on the WWE Champion. There was no reason to. There's absolutely no fucking reason to. You could have easily moved Brock Lesnar over to SmackDown Live well before Super ShowDown without any controversy or backlash. Because you do realize that if he cashes in on Kofi, it's going to be a much different situation than if he were to cash in on Seth. It would have been bad if he had cashed in on Seth, but with the momentum that Kofi's had and the run that Kofi's been on, the backlash from him cashing in on Kofi, should he decide to do so, is going to be much worse than anything that could come out of him cashing in on Seth Rollins. WWE could have easily avoided him winning the Money in the Bank briefcase and cashing in on either Seth Rollins or Kofi. They could have moved him over to SmackDown simply because of the superstar shakeup. You could have had Vince McMahon announce Brock Lesnar as the biggest acquisition in SmackDown Live history, but instead you had to announce Elias, and then Reigns comes out and spears the shit out of Elias and punches Mr. McMahon, and we have this whole convoluted mess with Roman going into a feud with Elias and now going into a feud with Shane McMahon. Meanwhile, you could have had an easy out, and you could have moved Brock Lesnar over to SmackDown Live. He didn't have to be in the championship title picture. Most likely, we still would have gotten this wild card rule. You could have booked Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre at Super ShowDown. You could have built up Drew McIntyre like the beast that he is, because Drew McIntyre realistically is the right man to take the title off of Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. But no. Vince McMahon had to change his mind last minute and book Brock Lesnar to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, most likely he's going to cash in successfully on either Rollins or Kingston. And if I was to choose which one he was going to do, I would go with the latter. And Brock Lesnar's most likely going to be WWE Champion. He's going to be on SmackDown Live. And remember what I said earlier about Roman Reigns and Shane? Don't be surprised if we get Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, when last year we just saw for the Universal Championship, that went an entire 6 minutes, bored everyone to fucking sleep, and now we have to relive it again. I'm telling you, if this shit keeps up, WWE's ratings are only going to continue to go down. The fans will only continue to jump shift to AEW. And the sooner the more fans jump shift to AEW, the more money and the more revenue that WWE is going to lose. The more the ratings go down, more fans will jump shift, more fans will stop watching, the more revenue WWE will lose. Common logic. And if you don't follow that tread of common logic, you need mental fucking help. That's how this shit works. That's reality. Moving on, because I really just want to get this video over with. Again, I apologize to, I am going to continue to apologize to everyone who expected more from me. I will try my best to give you guys something more energetic and more exciting on the Storm stream. But again, I just have no passion for the show. UnderTaker vs Goldberg. Two 50-year-old grandpas fighting over Saudi Arabian money. Who cares? How long is this going to go? 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes? I'm calling the Undertaker. There you go. Undertaker beats Goldberg. Undertaker beats Goldberg, and that's it. Do I need to say anything else? No. Then you got the 50-man over the top rope battle royal. I don't even know how they're going to do this. You had the greatest Royal Rumble, the 50-man Royal Rumble, back at the first event, the greatest Royal Rumble. And you had Braun Strowman pick up the win there. I don't even know where they're going to go with the 50-man over the top rope battle royal. I don't know who they're going to have win. Quite frankly, I don't care. I don't even know. I don't even know who the fuck's in it. All I've heard is McIntyre. I think McIntyre, Miz, Ricochet, and Cesaro are the only ones that have actually been announced. Most likely R-Truth and the entire job squad that has been running around with them chasing the fucking 24/7 championship everywhere across the country. Most likely, they're all going to be in it. I don't even fucking care who's going to win this 50-man over the top rope battle royal. If I was to call someone just based off of what's going on, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley in the battle royal themselves. Realistically, Drew McIntyre should be the guy to win it. Realistically, Drew McIntyre should be the guy to win it. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. Because Drew McIntyre, he desperately needs some fucking momentum. Drew McIntyre desperately needs some fucking momentum on his side. Drew McIntyre has been pretty much made into a second version of Samoa Joe. Talks a big game, and then fucking loses every big match that he's in. He's lost against the Shield. He lost the Royal Rumble. He's lost against Finn Balor back at TLC. That was before Finn Balor was even being pushed out of fear. Lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He's just been losing. Drew McIntyre has been made into another version of Samoa Joe. He's morphed into the Samoa Joe of 2018. Talks a big game and constantly loses. Why wouldn't you give Drew McIntyre the big win here in a 50-man over the top rope battle royal? That's what I would do. Is WWE going to go that route? No. Most likely not. God. Ladies and gentlemen, that was probably the worst rundown I think I've ever fucking done. It's probably the worst rundown I've ever done. Quite frankly, I don't care. I'm approaching 30 minutes. I'm going to do my normal exit spiel. Thank you guys for tuning back into the channel. Follow me on Twitter at Man of Infamy. Follow me on Instagram at VDJStorms. Go and check out the Rewind with Commander Chrissy. My girl Chrissy, shout out to her. the rewind for NXT TakeOver 25 with Chrissy. That's up on the channel. I will post a link in the description. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road towards 1,200 subscribers. We're going to see if we can get to 1,200 subscribers before the end of the month. Perhaps get to 1,400 or 1,500 by SummerSlam. Hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because even in my worst videos, whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best fucking time to be on YouTube. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, after Super Showdown, it is the 14th Special Edition Storm Stream with Chris. Go follow him on Twitter at Chris from Loring. Subscribe to him on YouTube at your boy Chris. He's one of the fastest rising YouTubers and one of the fastest, newest wrestling analysts in the community. He is an absolute fucking mastermind. You guys got to check him out if you haven't already checked him out. Shout out to him. I will see him tomorrow night for the 14th Storm Stream. We'll be going live at 7:30. We're discussing the weekly show reviews. We're reviewing Super Showdown. And we are discussing Jon Moxley's rumored opponent for All Out on August 31st, 2019. Shout out to Jon Moxley, by the way, and congrats to him who just became the new IWGP United States Champion by defeating Juice Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the rundown for Super Showdown, Stupid Showdown, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the 14th Storm Stream.